Hello, this is Erin with The Joy in Pens and Paper, and this is actually a take 2 of this video. I got about almost halfway through and realized that it wasn't recording. So we're going to try again. This is a 3 pens, 3 inks, 3 papers. So the papers are a Rhodia dot grid, a Galen Leather Co. Everyday Notebook with Tomoe River paper, and a Galen Leather Co. Everyday Notebook with Cosmo Air Light paper. I will be doing the initial swatch with a Kakimori brass nib pen, and then I have 3 TWSBI Goes in a fine, a medium, and a stub nib that I will be using for the 3 pens. Now, one thing I'm going to try that's a little bit different is instead of writing the ink and name over and over again, with one pen I'm going to write the company, the other I'm going to write the ink name, and the third I'm going to pick a word that comes to mind. So that's how we're going to roll today. The 3 inks we are going to do, this one is open, but to Birmingham Pen Company Antique Sepia or Antique Sepia. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I do not like pronouncing things wrong, so if someone wants to tell me which one, I will stay in that lane. But I tend to call it sepia. That's just me. The next is Sandstone, also by Birmingham Pen Company. And the third is a sample that I received from a viewer, Priscilla, and is Wearing Goal Song of the Reed. So starting off with Antique Sepia, we're just going to do a big ol' swatch because I'm feeling the need to play with some ink this evening. And yes, if you look closely, you can see where I had initially swatched it before I realized that I was not recording. That was a sad, sad moment. I am having a bit of a day today. Today is Wednesday, so I'm kind of pre-recording this, and I found out Tuesday afternoon that I was going to be leading part of a training at work. I love training, don't get me wrong. However, I had less than 24 hours to prepare for this training. And so I am mentally and emotionally absolutely exhausted. Is that the fine? That is not the fine, that is the medium. So we're just going to pause on that one. Let's get out the fine. And we're going to write Birmingham Pen Company. I'm going to write that 3 times. Yes, so after I had convinced myself that this would be therapeutic and I should get it done and I'm going to feel so much better once it's done, and I got going, then I realized it wasn't even recording. So that is my day. I believe the training went well. I had some very active participants. My training was about 30-ish minutes, somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes, and I had to do it 3 different times this afternoon. Without really much time to reflect between to kind of see that I like how it went, and would I change anything. I between each one grabbed my things, went to the next location of the training, and immediately started presenting. So my word will be perseverance. And yes, I am mixing uppercase and lowercase because I changed my mind midway through. Good, good. All right, so that is Birmingham Pen Company Antique Sepia. What I really love about this ink is it goes down green and then it ends up drying this kind of brownish pinkish color. It's fascinating. I love chromo shading inks. All right, this next one is sandstone, and I certainly also really love my murky browns. They bring me a lot of joy. Sometimes I wonder if I like them so much because it's a color that would have been used back in the day when fountain pens were really the elite high-tech writing instrument. And inks would have been, a lot of blacks, but then I imagine a lot of sepias and a lot of browns. All right, so again, this is Birmingham Pen Co. This particular fine is very slicey. It is almost too fine, and I don't know that I say that very often, if at all. All right, so next up we are going to put the label of sandstone. And this medium is just perfect. And I have other mediums by Twisby, and they are a little bit more juicy. So that is, to me, very intriguing. Perhaps at some point I can do a comparison of Twisby mediums because I think I do have 3. And this one is going to be Resilience. All right, and last but absolutely not least, what in no manner is Waringal Song of the Reed. And I've got this sitting in my little Inkapet. Also a gift from a viewer made by a little boy with his 3D printer. Here's the card right here. Calvin. Love it. I kept it. It brought me a lot of joy. It's a beautiful color. I really should have inked this up for May, but when I was doing my May planning, I had other inks that were calling my name a little bit stronger. All right, so similarly, I'm going to write Waringal And then I will write Song of the Reed. Oops, wrong read, Erin, wrong read. That's better. And lastly, let me pick a word. Let's go with dedication. And I do not write with a stub nib ever. I do have some pen friends that do quite frequently, and I was actually corresponding with one of them today about hand lettering and cursive and such, and he handles his stub nibs beautifully. That is not something I'm very well versed in, but here are, gosh, quite earthy tones, our inks for today. So here are the 3 on the Rhodia paper. And this, you can see the green coming through quite a bit, but along the edges, you can see the tan. And then you can also see that underlying pink. Sandstone is just a beautiful, dark, kind of sandy brown. And Song of the Reed has this wonderful golden brown to it. Here's my mess up, but there is a little bit of bleed through. And the locations of the bleed through are where I went back and added more with the Kakimori nib. So it could be the grooves of the Kakimori nib pulling away some of the paper fibers, and that could be causing the bleed through. This is Tomoe River paper. So look at those beauties. I love the shading. I love each of those colors. Again, the pink coming through, it's just stunning. And there is a little bit of bleed through with sandstone and with antique sepia. Just a little bit. And last, we have Cosmo Air Light. That shows off the shading really nicely right there. I mean, that is just chef's kiss. It looks like the swatch that's on the website, or like a swatch on a website, I guess I should say. Oop, Marley's hair. Let's get off there. Okay. Sandstone, you can see just a little bit of green, almost sheen around the edge of where the ink pooled. And then Song of the Reed, I mean, that is just a stunning, stunning, stunning color. I'm in love. Has a little bit of a yellow undertone to it. So those are our 3 inks, 3 pens, 3 papers for this week. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.